Yo, what is up everybody? This is SloMo back at you with another video. This video is going to be about the Dark Pictures anthology, Medan, being made by SuperMassive Games. So far, one of my favorite devs this generation. SuperMassive is also well known for making Until Dawn, which is in that story-based, narrative driven branching path, branching storyline kind of games. Some people call them walking simulators, whatever, but those kind of games that you have seen from Telltale and Quantic Dream. Supermassive makes those kind of games, and I think they are just a cut above Quantic Dream and the formerly known Telltale games in regards to the quality of their games. I actually bought my PlayStation 4 for Until Dawn. When I saw it at E3, I think it was like back in 2015, I was just like, you know what? There have been a number of games I wanted to get, and I said, you know, once I saw the game that I just couldn't deal without, I had to play this game. I saw Until Dawn, I was like, all right, this is going to be it. And it didn't disappoint. I really enjoyed it. And a lot of people really enjoyed it. It really put Supermassive on the map. Now, since Until Dawn, Supermassive has made a couple of VR games. One's called The Impatient. Other one I think was some kind of like carnival ride, Rush of Blood, Until Dawn kind of thing. Both of them were just, you know, VR based games. VR is still a developing platform, so I'm not going to say they sucked, but they just weren't my kind of games. But back to Until Dawn. Until Dawn was a great game. It had really good replayability. If you wanted to get all the characters to survive, you probably ended up having to play it multiple times like I did. Like my first time through, I had like 2 people die. So I said, no, let me go back and play it some more. And it's that kind of game where you go back, you play it some more, you see different choices that you could make and how they turn out, the outcomes, the consequences to these characters. It was a lot of fun. And something I think Supermassive was not aware of that came out of Until Dawn is all the content creators on YouTube, on Twitch, on Mixer, whatever, that were playing their games and streaming themselves play the games and having all of their audience and seeing groups of friends playing the game together and making the choices together and deciding to have a unique ways of playing the game, where certain people would say, well, when it gets to the focus of this character, then I'm gonna take the controller, and so on and so forth. And so I think that really gave Supermassive some ideas on how they could develop this try to develop this feature and put it into their game so that people didn't have to kind of do it on their own. So they're trying to capture that multiplayer party feel of Until Dawn and Hidden Agenda, which came out, I believe, 2 years ago, 2017. Hidden Agenda was all right. It was a decent story. I think the play link features just wasn't well implemented. And play link, the play link feature essentially was you would get your phone, you would download the play link app, and it would be you and 4 other people, and then you guys would just kind of use your phone to make choices on what to do. And I didn't really like it because for me personally, like I'm like trying to track with my phone to make my choice. I'm not given all the time I need to do that. Sometimes there were some quick time events that you had to do, and then you don't know who is doing the quick time event. It wasn't well implemented in my opinion, and I think they realized that because the game didn't do well critically, as well as it wasn't received as well as Until Dawn was. So what they're doing with Medan is they're implementing 2 multiplayer modes that I think are really interesting, and I'm really excited to see how they turn out. And they're also implementing another mode that I'm gonna get into later, but let's talk about these 2 modes. So the 2 modes are shared story mode and movie night. And shared story mode allows you to team up with a friend and play through the game together. You'll both be able to explore the ship, and make choices that affect the story and the characters that you're controlling. So what it seems like is that you're going to control a certain number of characters, and then your friend will control the other characters that are available, and then you'll be able to play these scenes and play them from different perspectives, both together and alone. The movie night option is what I think is going to be really, really interesting, and I can't wait to try that out for certain. It allows you and up to 4 players to be able to play together, and you each enter in your names and decide which characters you're going to take charge of. And so for the whole game, you are in charge of that character that you chose. So when it's that character's focus or chapter, now you're in control and you're making the decisions, and those decisions will affect the other players and their characters as the game progresses. And apparently it'll also offer a summary of how each of you are playing. It sounds pretty cool. The other mode that I mentioned is the Curator's Cut mode, which it sounds pretty interesting. So once you finish the game, the main story, you can take an alternate path during the second playthrough in the Curator's Cut. The Curator's Cut. The Curator's Cut will allow you to choose in your second playthrough, a different character and viewpoint of the main story. This will reveal new information that you couldn't have known from your first playthrough. It provides new choices and decisions, and all of which will affect the story and unveil new secrets for you to discover. This will be available if you pre-order the game day 1. But if you don't pre-order the game, it still will be unlocked for all players who have the game later on this year. So I think this is some pretty good innovative ideas that they are doing, and it's something that I think that something that Telltale could have tried to implement, try to iterate off of their formula, which worked initially, but then over time became stale. SuperMassive is trying to avoid that altogether. They don't want their formula to get stale. They want to keep trying to create new ways for people to enjoy their games, and I think that's an awesome idea. Can't wait to get into it in a month from now and see how it all turns out. You guys let me know how you feel about this. Do you think, is Medan going to be a game that you're going to play? Are you going to play it alone? Are you going to play it with friends? Do you not care at all? Does this kind of stuff kind of turn you off? Let me know in the comment section below. And you guys take care. Later.